Good day, everyone. So for today's lesson, we're going to look at preparing the proposal, which we're going to be doing starting next week. The submission of the proposal and the defense of the proposal will be in week 7. There are several parts in the proposal. Firstly, you have to begin with the introduction, which is also known as the background information. In this area, you will be discussing the issue that you're going to address. You can provide definition. You're basically telling your reader what is it that you are doing. For example, let's once again look at the language proficiency among UITM students. First and foremost, you have to describe what do you mean by language proficiency. Why is it important? What language that UITM students need to empower? And you can also include the current situation of UITM students' language proficiency. After that, you write the problem statement, which is the next part in the proposal. In this section, you address the issue. So, language proficiency of UITM students. What's the problem here? You can write something like, many students think that English language skills are their biggest weakness. Or you can also say, many students reported lack of confidence in using the language, although they are interested to learn and improve the skill. Anxiety can be one of the factors that influences the learning process. Once you have a clear problem, a clear issue to discuss, then you have to write a statement to convey it to your readers. Next, based on the problem statement, you can come up with the objectives. Now remember that to help teachers find solutions, to help companies address the issue, that is not the objectives of your study. Your study should be based on the problem statement. The study aims to find out or to identify or to investigate UITM students' perception towards the language proficiency. Another objective can be to identify among the biggest factors contributing to the lack of proficiency, particularly among UITM students. Other group of samples or other group of respondents might have different factors influencing their language proficiency. But based on your study, you might find out that there are different sets of factors influencing UITM students in particular. Once you have your objectives right, then it will be easier for you to write the significance of the study. If you say the objective is to examine the factors influencing language proficiency among UITM students, then the significance can be to raise awareness among the students, among the teachers, the lecturers, of the problem that the students are facing. And that awareness is important in order for these parties to start thinking about getting or finding solutions. The next part in the proposal is the scope or limitations of the study. There are 2 main limitations that most students would do. Number 1, your study is limited to only small group of people, and they are from UITM. Then you can say whatever findings you get from this study may not be significant or reliable for different group of people. Another common limitation is the time limit. Because you only have X amount of time, then you're not able to widen the survey. The next part is discussing previous studies. Now this is where the review of articles, the 5 articles that I ask you to find and review, will be beneficial for this part. And then finally, you have to describe ways you're going to gather your data. But first, you have to identify the samples. Okay, who are going to be your respondents? Where do you have to go to find them? What is the method of survey you're going to adopt? And what kind of data you're going to collect? There are 2 types, quantitative and qualitative, and there's another one called mixed method. But in your case, because of the limited amount of time, you should go with quantitative. However, you can still use qualitative, but it's limited to a few questions only. A qualitative method, specifically using interview survey, would require you to record the person. You have to analyze the words the person's use. You have to analyze what the respondents mean when the person says something. So it takes much more time than doing quantitative. That is why if you choose to do qualitative survey, maybe you can limit to just 1 or 2 questions, and also limit to maybe 5 to 8 people and maybe 10. So whatever method that you choose to apply in your proposed study, you have to describe in this section, methodology of the proposed study. You can refer to the sample for guidance, and you can also talk to me if you need advice. The next part of this video consists of detailed explanation of each section of the proposal. There are also examples such as example of background information, example of problem statement. So you can continue watching the video. You can hit pause button to stop and read. And you have to make sure that when you're writing background information, problem statement, make sure that you refer to the examples. You can also refer to the samples provided. Another crucial thing that you have to keep in mind is the grammar, the sentence structure. You have to proofread each other's work. You can use an application that's called Grammarly. There's a free feature you can use. You don't have to buy. Just use the free version of it. That can help you a lot with your writing. Please do not take this for granted. It is a skill, a very much needed skill, especially for IM students. After you graduate, you're gonna find job, you have to write report. You're gonna need to do survey and then report again. And even before you graduate, you have to do your final year project. This is the skill that you need to develop, and it's going to be useful for the rest of your life. So do not think of it as an assignment. You have to think of it as a practice to polish your skill before you leave the university. Okay, now you can keep on watching the video. Again, just a reminder to hit pause button when you need to stop and read. Okay, take your time. That's why it is a recorded lecture. So you can take your time to listen and watch and read. Until next time, Assalamualaikum. Bye.